Hey guys, it's Tartan coming at you with an episode of My Mustache and Me, where we play Aksun for the first time. Now, I've never heard of this game, and it seems very interesting. It's not out yet. It is just like a playtest that I got access to, not like special access or anything, just through Humble Bundle. Anyway, there's weapon selection. There's a couple weapons here. The Shaman Blade and the hilariously named Bladent. We're just going to start with the Shaman Blade first and try it out. There's also these artifacts. We're going to go over them each in time, but, we're just going to start, playing through it. A fiery shackle imbued with unresolved resentment. Bound tight, it releases heat and scorches its surroundings. So when we hit, we get Fury, and it gets Ignite effects, and then if it fails, Fury stacks decrease. We'll learn what that means when we go in. This is like a roguelite set in Korean folklore and myth, and we just and now we're proving in the tutorial that we can do everything, and I think we just hit things. Probably turn the It's going to be a lot of sound effects. Alright, so then you level up and you become like this very impressive thing. Hello, Coolio, how are you? And then like a big old thing. And now we will prove, our might. Okay, so that's the tutorial. You've got basic attack, strong attack, and then special attack. You charge up a bar to awaken a power, and then do cooler versions of your attacks. Love it. Simple and elegant. So this thing will duplicate the skill after we use it. This one will let us do a lot of the big special attacks, and this will let us knock people down. I think having an after effect that does it is cool, but I bet this is very good. It sounds real good. Because that'll give us a bunch of AoE. Okay, and then we move to the next door. And we guess, we go to whatever room. Lots of choices to make. It's a roguelite, so that's to be expected, They expect you to die and then make different choices. So this is going to... Yeah, we'll take this one. We'll take the Wind Slash. And then we have to prove that we know how to do it. And now that we've passed that, we will go to one of these rooms, and we can enhance artifacts or go to base abilities. We'll go to enhanced base abilities. Do we get to fight monsters now? Yeah, we do. It plays very much like Hades, and I mean that in a complimentary way. I loved Hades, and I think, if they execute this game well, and they have, like, an interesting story arc thing going on, then I definitely will be watching this with great interest. And then we will just hit our abilities here. I've taken way too much damage. They're very careless. But we take them out, but still taking way too much damage. I like the sort of percussion heavy track. Alright, so crit, damage overall, or tankiness. I think in general you take damage overall. Like the top-down camera style. Yeah, it's really nice. I'm just taking a minute to look around. I'm excited about this game already. I hope it executes itself well, because the art is very nice. I don't know if you played Hades. I played Hades just this last year. It came out several years ago. It was an indie darling and won all the awards and stuff. But it was wonderful, and I put, more than 100 hours into it, and I got, all the Steam achievements on it and stuff, which I don't always do. But this game, I think, is very reminiscent of it. Both, Hades is set in, Greek mythology, and this is set in Korean mythology, which I know, so much about Greek mythology, and I know nothing at all about Korean folklore and myth. Probably actually nothing. And so that makes me excited too, because there'll be these aesthetic motifs I won't be familiar with, monster types and maybe boss sorts of things, maybe figures that are interesting and that we'll get to meet. Because I imagine because this is just a playtest, I imagine most story beats and stuff would be coming in the later game. I imagine they will have story stuff. I sure hope so. We took way too much damage in that earlier room. We took 43 damage, just very careless. But, it'll be fine. It'll probably be fine. After all, if we die, that'll let us check out something else. Oh yeah, look at me, I'm so fast. Everyone is so proud of me. It's fun, too. It just, it feels very responsive. And we get another upgrade. Okay, yeah, so it just goes into one of these slots every time, basically. I just bet damage is always better. Maybe at a certain point you want one of the other ones. A tavern where we can purchase things, or more traits. I don't think we have a lot of currency. In Hades, you would take the tavern equivalent rooms. You would take, shops, because then you wouldn't have to fight anybody, and it was safe. Little spike trap. We've got sort of, skulls on top of plants. It's very ominous, right? The gameplay feels awesome. It reminds me exactly of Hades, which, again, I'm probably going to say a lot, but I don't mean that in a negative way. It is okay to be inspired by the best things that happened in a genre. And, in fact, it is expected. And I believe I said while playing Hades, and I'll repeat it now, that I would have been willing to play any number of games with those mechanics, with thoughtful storylines and good character development, just any number of them. For the rest of my life, I would be happy to play new ones. Give me variants and builds. Give me punchy combat and bosses that I'm supposed to understand and don't. Give me the ability to, sculpt a different experience. Alright, now what do we have here? This is for the gust thing whenever we hit a lot of stuff, so... And we'll do this one, so if they have... If they have 2 or more gust effects, we'll get crit against them, I think. I think that's how it works. Either that or I'm going to give them critical attack against me. That would be very bad. Enter the Gungeon? I don't know. It's possible. It's called a roguelite. Which, if you're not familiar, I don't want to condescend, but, basically you should expect that you're going to die, and then you start over at the beginning or whatever, but that you get some kind of currency or unlockables or something along the way that you can use to boost your character over time. Whereas a roguelike with a K rather than a roguelite with a T is more like permadeath, and you don't necessarily, have progression in between runs. So we will... Alright, we'd already got the one thing, so now we'll take... And then we have to prove, once again, So it gives us a little Hydra. That's awesome. I love it. You played lots of roguelikes before? Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that's the plan for this. Like I said, I have not ever heard of this before. So if you remember me talking about the Humble Bundle subscription I have, it's just, like a storefront that you get. I spend, it's like $15 a month or something, and you get 8 games a month that are like real Steam keys. And they also have like other stuff. They've been around for ages. They did like stuff for charity is I think how it started, but now they have, like, oh man, dying. But I saw, I have one, every month you get 8 games or whatever, and I saw that, like, I was just looking to be like, hey, is there any new stuff on there or whatnot? I knew that my new month hadn't shown up yet, and I saw that there was this thing. It was a playtest access, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But anyway, we're defeated. That's all right. We're gonna try again with a different weapon this time and see if we can do a little better. All right. So we're gonna take the Bladent, which is like, it's like a halberd on one side and a trident on the other, which is amazing. You played a VR roguelike? What was that like? What was that? Alright, so then we're going to just... Alright, so this is going to be like a turtle bomb. A tortoise ember box, in fact. And that's going to be the artifact we wear in this time. Or maybe not. Oh no, these are the artifacts that we just can get on the inside. Okay. And we might get them as we go. I think I understand now. Okay. Halberd. Alright, so this is a much more deliberate thing. By spinning spirits, you can shorten the timer to pull down. Alright, this is... It's got a... Oh, but look at me, I look like one you! I mean, not historically, culturally appropriate, sorry, but, But look at me, I'm big and have a halberd, and I'm wearing green. Anyway, I can't wait till this game comes out. I'm totally gonna get it. I mean, I'm probably gonna get it. Underdogs. An underground mech arena. Oh, that's fun. Buzzsaws are fun. Alright, so we're gonna get... Being able to change direction when we're doing the stabby thing with the trident seems good. We'll take that. And I guess we just try to get down there because the boss is at the bottom. So that's how many rooms we need to make it through. Yeah, like, I think I have to start at the top. And that just says where we were the last time? Yeah. So you see a lot of potential with the game with the effects of the atmosphere. I quite agree. It's so interesting, just on the face of it. Like, I want to know who this character is. I want to know what's going on, and I know that that's probably not going to be showing up in this playtest, of course. This is more of like does the nuts and bolts of it work, and for them to get player data and stuff. I did see on Steam whenever I went to log in. All right, so this is the turtle one, so that's what we're gonna get. I love the idea of a turtle bomb with us. I love it a lot. I'm like, I was afraid to mute the mic. I'm like, I don't think that's what happened. The power went out shortly ago. It's not important. All right, echoes. That's what we're gonna take. Anything for the base abilities. That seems fun. Oh wow! While we were leveling up the jab, we took 30 damage. That's so rough. You know, there's not, if there are invulnerability frames, they're not shared between enemies. Which, you know, sure, but it's the first you know, map. And I just, like, used the skill wrong, and they were like, by the way. Alright, here, do we go for, like, crit? Maybe. We're just... You know, just because damage seems right doesn't mean we have to do it. Hey, health restore. I was like, there should be a room to get life back. If I've played a game like this before, and I've played, you know, one. Oh, it's the creepy legs walking. Oh no. And then it falls down into two slightly smaller legs that explode. Very ominous stuff. Oh yeah, and then we got these dudes. Huzzah! Alright, how much life? Alright, so we can get 60, get max by 15, and get 15 back, or increase by 10 at the end of each stage for 3 stages. So that one gives you 30 max health. I think for me, we're just going to take the 60 health. I don't know how this works, but I think we should just get our HP back, and then we'll see how more of it works. It's really nice to look at. It's just beautifully done. Like, I love the way that the walls are. I like how foreboding the forest is. I like how annoyed I am that I don't own this game because it doesn't exist. And now, okay, we're gonna go to the tavern. Maybe, you know, maybe it'll be out soon. I think it was next year. Alright, so we can just buy one of these things here. Or another Torch of Ember box, but we've already got one. We'll buy power. Nice little Charon shop. Of course, it's not Charon. It's just a thing. Altar of the 5 elements. And we're gonna go with Frost this time. And we'll go to this weapon chime room. I think this is as far as we've ever been. Of course, the map is slightly different, well, with who we're fighting against. So they... You know, I think the Frost is really good for this weapon, because slowing them down a bit lets us keep our distance. Because... The third attack in the combination, which is important for getting your spear points, you sort of walk forward a little bit, and just like a little bit of a forward lunge. Oh yeah, oh my goodness, so much damage. Finally, we found a way to make it work. This is so cool. I love spears anyway, who doesn't? Everybody knows they're very cool. And then we got a sweet spinning spear thing out of the dash. You gotta love a dash attack. You say, what would the lore be like, the full release? Well, it's set in Korean, what it said was, like, Korean shamanic folklore, so I'm not sure. You know, I don't have any knowledge whatsoever any knowledge base whatsoever, that's how to structure a sentence, about Korean myth specifically. Like, a lot of the stuff looks like, I don't want to sound dumb, like, it looks like stuff that I would see in, like, Persona, and then, or Shin Megami Tensei, and then look up, you know, like, stuff that I would have seen in an RPG and thought, oh, that's cool, but if they didn't have, like, more than a bestiary entry, then I wouldn't know. And then here we have, like, very recognizable ghosts. They look very much like, sort of like Sadako from The Ring. Took a couple of hits there. Not great. And now we can upgrade one of them. Okay, so... We'll take this frozen essence gain thing. I think the frost is important for our run. But no, I am very compelled by this. I actually was thinking a lot about Hades recently. I'm like, I should put it back in and just, like, you know, try to speed run a little bit, see if I can get better times. Oh no! Getting chunked. Because when you get all of your stacks up high enough, then they just, like, freeze solid, which is awesome. And they slow down along the way anyway, which is just... Oh, yeah, there we go. This is my new favorite thing. I gotta experiment with other things, but, like, man, slowing them down and dropping little turtle bombs is so much fun. I love this. So on Steam, it said the playtest was already over. My Humble Bundle thing that I got this key through said it's over on the 29th, so it's gonna be over in a couple days anyway, and it's just too bad because I'm having a blast, even without any story. I should play a roguelike next. A roguelite next. Yeah, I should play Blasphemous. That one's been on the list for a while. I could just play Hades, but after all, playing new things is good, actually. And now we're getting... So as you go through, you can get, like... lots? Yeah, they build up through it and you get, like... Okay, cool. So, as you progress through, I was thinking you got, like, one or maybe two of them, but you have, like, an element that you start with, and then... you get the other, like, special elements that go through. So, you know, you get the freezing element, the bombs, and so on, and then you get access to all of them so you can sculpt the build how you want. We're gonna go Thundering now just because I think that seems cool. And we're gonna go with... Casting Forked Lightning? Sure. Thunder Mirror. And so, yeah, you know, you have three elements here, and then we have one more room until we fight the boss. We're gonna want to If we go here, we can get our life back, so that's what we'll do. It's just gonna be heartbreaking when I get tuned up by this boss in like 3 seconds because I'm bad. No, don't talk like that, self. Maybe we'll win. Oh my goodness, look at me go. Alright, I'm just heartbroken that that this game isn't something that I can play all day long forever. No, I mean, I'd get bored of it eventually. I get bored of everything, but oh man. Look at the bright flashing lights. Look at the numbers. I mean, it may not look much to you, but it's a lot of fun here. I don't even know what that was, but it looks cool. Alright, and now we're gonna restore the 60 health because we've been taking too much damage all this time. And now it's time for the first boss fight. It looks like a tree with 3 heads. We'll see. Rabbit Tintin Sunjong. Stay out of the fire. You know, it gives a little hitbox for it, and I walked right into it. I was off for the dash anyway. Okay, I should save the dash for when his attacks go. We're gonna die so soon. You know, the tortoise gets no work done here, I think. Wow. Anyway. Well. We'll do better against him next time. Alright, let's just swap the weapon back over. We'll just alternate between them. Hunt for glitches and bugs if I can. If I find anything wrong, I will definitely attempt to get it. Alright, so... increased range on regular attack? Nah, we'll do this. Oh, good. So, the tutorial is just weapon specific. It only, I think. Yeah, it doesn't make you do it every time. That's good. Alright, so here... Fire, Quake, Lightning, Frost, Wind. We haven't started with Lightning yet, so we'll just get this. Thunder Vajra. And we'll start with this one first this time. If we go this way, we can get to a health one. And get a bigger max health pool for fighting the boss. I don't know. We'll just go through it. Like, we shouldn't even think about what room seems better. How would we ever know? Alright, much shorter range, gotta remember it. Of course, it's also much more my speed to just be aggressive. If I had 2 dashes, you know, then we'd really be in business. Oh yeah, there we go. Lightning bolts are very, very powerful. Oh wow, and I get trucked by 3 hits all at one time. 24 damage, second room. Feels bad. Alright. Targets hit by lightning are snared for 1.5 seconds. Also, that last time I never used my power-up ability at all. We gotta remember to do that. We're gonna go to the health thing and try to get a better health pool. Or, you know, to put ourselves back together again, depending on how we perform here. I wonder if one of the weapons we don't have yet will be a shield. The shield was the only reason I could beat Hades on the highest heat that I did, which was 32, and a great time, but, you know, without the shield being the shield. Okay, so the max health increase does give you that amount of health. So I think taking 25 is always right. Unless, well, 30 over 3 rooms is better. But, yeah, it's just better because if you're not going to die immediately. Alright, so here we go to the artifact thing rather than spend money. And then we'll try to just hit a shop up late. And of course, when you go all the way powered up, they just fall down. And it's kind of funny that I forgot to do it the other time. Alright, so here... a lot of lightning, more lightning damage for the effects that are on them. That seems good. That'll, like, double lightning damage for most of the times that it goes on them, I think. Lightning Frost seems good. I like that. I have gained Frozen Heart. Yes, I sure have. You always got to go to the weapon chime room. I say this because it's lit up in gold, and that makes me think, you know, me, a gamer. Ooh, shiny. Yeah, I think taking Frost first is probably just the right thing to do. Because in a game that's built around living, slowing down your enemy seems better than anything else. But maybe just killing them is better. As my friend said in Magic the Gathering, doing all of this stuff to stay alive doesn't matter if you just hit them. Like, just hit them, and then they won't be able to play against you anymore. Alright, so here... when attack hits a target, it slightly reduces the cooldown of skills. A Blade Blast from it, or range increase. I think range increase, yeah. Range increase is definitely the thing to take. That's so good. You know, I kind of missed the tortoise, though. The tortoise was a lot of damage. Frost, I think, is, like, what I should be taking on the primary, but... that doesn't mean it's definitely right. I just... it's so noticeable how much slower they move. Oh man, I was like, just let me at him. It didn't work as well as I had hoped. I mean, I killed a bunch of the other guys. Lightning buffing the other thing seems good. We'll take the chime thing. Why not? Wow, that is a pile of hay that grew sentience and with its first thing in life decided, I'm gonna mess with you. Never should have come here. I don't know if it went under the ground or if it died. We'll see if it pops up on us or something. And we knock them back into the trap. Oh yeah, nothing feels better than a trap kill. They should give you bonus points for it. I don't know if they do, but they certainly should. Oh no, I wasted it! Ah, it's actually alright. Alright, when I use this, I get too into the feeling of it, and I forget that I'm not invulnerable. I'm like, I should be invulnerable now, right? No, I don't think so. When lightning deals damage, damage from lightning is increased by 5%, and that resets each room. That seems pretty good. When you're playing it, like, he would be just he puts so much force to your fight. Just like, no, take that, robot! Take that, foul beast! Avast! These buzzsaws will take you down! Let me at him, let me at him! Oh, that's so fun. We can get damage reduction. For the frozen essence, that seems okay. I like more damage though. Maybe tankiness is good, but if we don't have anything to like life leech, and we don't, then I don't know how much tankiness is good, you know. So we've got one thunder thing. So some of them don't. Some of them have a couple of artifacts of the same element. And some of them don't. We'll take another lightning one. You'd always pin them down with the buzzsaws. This back the way. Nice, nice. Alright, so we'll go here for the essence. No, we'll go here. And what? Hope to buy essence? If we don't get the essence, we're going to go into this boss fight with 29 hit points. If we go in here, we could potentially buy essence and something else and something else. We've got 500. Alright, nope, we couldn't. We could buy a frozen heart, but we've already got it. Okay, this is just a banner for it, but still good. You know, it's still just like, yeah. Anyway, that was a dumb gamble. We should have taken the health. Maybe we won't get hit. Oh, man. Alright, so you gotta dash. You gotta save your dash. His attacks always have the radius. And if you have your dash saved, I think you can... see. Okay, so that's what you gotta do. We'll beat him next time. We'll beat him next time. You always have to have your dash saved. And then you just gotta get outside of the range of it. You basically can't run out, even if you think you're close to the edge. Maybe you could. But anyway, all of his attacks have the visual cue, so that'll be good. Yeah, so here's the artifact case. So these are just the 8 that they have coded right now. So if we take all of the fiery ones, because there's 3 of those, then we could have the... They could have the 3 different... Yeah, maybe that's the thing we could do too. We could just go pure fire this time. Pure fire, ignoring that I said that we should always be taking Ignoring that I said we should always be taking the frost. We're going to take an additional strike at the end there. After all, the fire has 3 choices. Yeah, we'll take the Soul Stiffer Beads. When orbiting the player, it deals damage to enemies, consumes a stack of the Ignite, and increases bead damage. Sure. If this is like an aura of beads around us, like a little flaming prayer bead circle, that is objectively very cool. Alright, we're gonna go in this direction. Yeah, if we go in this direction, we're gonna get HP boost and further in the line, so... I run right into one of the fireballs, feels great. Ah. Okay, yeah, and the beads roll around me, and that probably gives me, like, AoE protection. I sure hope it does. Alright. The stagger duration increases while guarding. While guarding? What do you mean while guarding? Game didn't teach me how to dart. It says interact, dash, awaken, special, tactical, common attack. It doesn't say guard anywhere. I'm not... If they gave me a block button this whole time, I was gonna be... Maybe that's a specific thing when you're like charging up the blast. Yeah, the beads just go around and do like some nice light AoE damage to your foes and provide a little bit of stagger, which is very good. You know, I don't know if it's better than the frost, but it's very good. All right. So here we take this one because this is going to give us the most HP boost in enough time. If it was like right before the boss, I would probably take the 25 max, depending on what my total was. And that would be the calculation, right? You're like, hey, do I want to lose, you know, 1/6 of this because I may not be able to take advantage of it if I don't. The roguelite, you know, gamble. It's like, hey, do I take something better now, or that would pay off if I do this right? And of course, it just depends on what your objectives are. Actually, did you say, can my mustache play without me? No shame. Unfortunately not. I'm the only one that can speak for it. Alright, it says, while in guard mode, bead blocks most projectiles. But, like, I don't have a guard mode. Longer stagger duration seems good. And then we'll take the Flame Dragon Orb. This is going to give us that little Hydra whenever we... whenever we get enough of the stacks. Oh yeah, and look at me. I am big and so green. I win. Alright. We'll take extra attacks there. Maybe we should have went to health. And this Hydra's doing awesome. Look at it just spitting fire. I mean, it's probably not good. Who cares? It's a Hydra. I love Hydras. Yeah, so in Diablo 2, the Sorceress, like the capstone level 30 spell for fire was called Hydra. And it cast a little Hydra on the ground, and it shot little fireballs, and it was terrible. It didn't do damage for anything, and I wanted it to be good so bad, and it never would. We'll continue on making the beads better. Be a bead-focused build. A beady build. But anyway, this is so much fun. We're gonna beat the boss this time. If we get to the boss. We'll take, yeah, more spinnier beads, more beads, all beads, everything. And this is going to, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to come back to bite us, because it's like, you take more damage as your fury increases, but maybe... Oh, wow, look. The beads at that range. Okay, I'm a believer now. I think beads frost, though. I don't know if we need the other fire abilities, but wow, oh, wow, that is pretty nice. We're going to be able to get up to max HP. Clean. Oh, wow. Okay, so here, it's like, you get 25 at the end of each stage for 3 stages. But it doesn't happen right now, does it? And we're about to fight the boss. We have to take this one. That feels so bad. You know, you can't be greedy if you've not even beat the boss before. You have to take objectively the most hit points that you can get access to. He says, "Did you really think I wouldn't recognize you because you're hiding in silence? I recognized you from the stench in this bog alone." He said it really fast. Alright, phase 2. Alright, I got 50 HP left. I got it. Right. Come on, let me get it. Yeah! Boom, baby. Tainted Sungchang executed. Wonderful. And we lived with 13 hit points, which means if I had chosen the wrong one, I would not have lived. Alright, so. Knockback seems good. And now there is a healing well. Excellent. Good. On to the second area. And here we see that they can tell us definitively what will happen on that line. Here we'll go to the left. We'll be able to take the heart and then hit the weapon chime probably. But we could go to the artifact chime there also. But first we must get more hit points. Alright. We should expect a ratcheting up in difficulty now that we're here. Oh, yeah, there you go. You got all sorts of nonsense. You got traps. You got guys that are shooting all sorts of fireballs at you. And here I am, just peacefully trying to go through and be a hero. I'm just joking. I don't know. I could be a bad guy for all I know. I doubt it. I look like a hero. For one thing, I'm wearing a cape. And you wouldn't just let a villain wear a cape, would you? There would be, like, a rule or a law against it, or at the very least, like, a system of aesthetic contrivances that kept a villain from wearing a cape. Surely. And we're just going everything into the beads. All beads, everything. But really, as soon as you get... When you get, like, a couple of Hydras to wake up, like, that's pretty good, too. That might be as good as beads. Because they do decent damage, like... It's a big old chunk. Alright, we've got a foe here. They look like... They look like they would really hurt if they jumped on top of us, so let's try to keep them away. And with an awesome halberd transformation, we use our power to clear up the room very beautifully just before it ends. Feels good. Alright. Here, we can get 75 max health plus the health restore here, and all we gotta do is live a little bit longer. So that's very excellent. Maybe sometimes it's 25 and sometimes it's 15. I thought, like, maybe it was, like, earlier or later, but, you know, it wouldn't be surprising if it ultimately was sort of, like, you know, just a bit random how good the magnitude of the effects were. That would be quite typical for the genre, of course. I love it. I'm having so much fun. And I'm sure they'll have, you know, more music and stuff eventually. I still like it's a good choice for a limited track, you know, for a game demonstration, because you don't care that it's repeating, because you know it's the driving powerful nature of it that keeps you coming back for more anyway. Beads to give me more power seems good. I probably don't use the power as much as I should, and having access to more of it will make me feel, you know, good about that. We're gonna take the weapon chime because those are rarer than the artifact chimes are. I think that's correct. It sure feels correct. I will say, that this build is really coming together if I can stop getting hit. What's even hitting me? Okay. Those dudes throw little grenades and they turn into little red bombs, I see. They look identical to what I would be throwing out as a fire magician. A fire magician who principally... Okay, they don't just explode. They do also run into you if they throw, so you gotta watch for the wind-up in their arms, as well as the objects on the ground. Whoopsie. Taking way too much damage there. Maybe the problem with fire is that so many enemy effects also are, in appearance, fire. Whereas nothing else really looks like ice. This is a common problem with fire. We'll take the critical slash thing. We'll go to the hit points. Yeah, we're so strong now. The lady looks like she was like a clay pot that you might find, like, you know, items inside of, but she was not. And here we take another big max health boost. Artifacts can be awakened. Yeah, I mean, if we get another whole artifact, then... Alright, so we gain Ascend Soul Sniffer Beads. Oh, wow! Are they on all the time now? Is this really... Alright, maybe they're just showing off what they're like. Well, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Alright, if we go this way, we get to the weapon chime. If we go this way, however, we get health and then health again. That seems better. Yeah, these Ascended Chimes are totally amazing. Oh my goodness. Violent Fire Prayer Beads are they're the future. This is how you gotta go. Oh wow. Oh wow. Yep. That's how it's done. Where are they? Where are they? Yep. Yep. Just absolute madness. This is, you know, I don't know if all the other stuff we're doing works together with it, but the beads are pretty cool when you get them rolling. Critical hit chance per Fury stack seems good. And here we take the HP, because of course we do. Oh my god, this build's so strong now. It's critting for like 500. 350. That one was 400 though. 464 crits. Oh my freaking stars. Oh wow, let's just walk in the fire. That'll really show how happy we are with the build. Let's just walk in the fire. Wowza though. Oh man. Watch as they fall before me. Oh, that's just glorious. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Okay, we can re-roll here. Because we already have, like, a higher one than that going. Does it even... Or is stage, like, the whole thing? I don't know. We're gonna take this one. Because it seems like we should have gotten more max HP than what we've gotten from what we selected. I mean, that's just filthy. These dudes are meant to have a ton of HP. I mean, maybe every build wakes up by now, but we are definitely online entirely. You know, it's probably that whole ascended item thing. It's probably really good for all of them, but man, oh man, did it turn on here. And it works very well synergistically with all the other stuff that we selected. Oh yeah, look, watch as they all fall down. I ran into the fire. Not ideal. So, you know, the better stagger, the faster movement, all of that stuff just coming together to when hit, we can consume Fury to get 30% of the HP back. Yeah, seems good. Here we go to the tavern because we have a ton of money. Cast dash, you get 2 Fury. Seems very good. Alright. Time for this boss. Never been here before. So let's see how it is. Dark Mudang Giselle. Her theme song is sick. Is she throwing turnips at me? I don't know. I can't quite see. I am doing very well, though. Our damage is strong. Oh, man. Oh, man. Let me out of there. That's a lot of damage. Alright, I got too excited there. We needed to... Oh, man. That was so much damage. I don't even know. Oh, wow. We're dead. We're dead. We're dead. Man. We dealt almost 250,000 damage. We took 463. I think we're gonna stick with the Bladent again. I like the ranged. And we're just gonna go probably flame beads into frost. I think we'll try that out. I like the beads. I think the beads were strong. I think they were fine early, and I think once they got turned on, they were actually a very good protective piece. I just got too gung-ho on that boss and got too close and took too much damage. Didn't even realize it, you know. That can often happen in a game like this. You're like, what if I button mash to victory? Well, like, that only works at the end of a fight. It's not gonna work at the beginning. Bigger spin seems good. Immediately go to get the max health increase. Oh, the guard mode must mean whenever the beads are out, which... Wow, 12 damage? Don't get hit by that. Note to self. Stagger, yes, very much, yes. And here we'll take Frost, because I think that's good. You know, for reasons. Wow. Little spin attack. It's not as good as some of the ones are, you know. Nah, that's true of anything, you know. Some options aren't as good as they could be. And then those echo things power up individually some of the artifact things. So like for each defense level you've taken, you know, sometimes they'll be like a little bit better. which, you know, will provide a lot of interesting builds, or not, depending on how they end up being. I'm sure, you know, there will end up being more or less correct builds, but as long as there's plenty that are a lot of fun to play, that's all that I'd be looking for. I'm very good at ignoring the right thing to do if what I can do is fun enough, you know. And this will just make us generally tankier. Maybe that'll be fine. I mean, it might save us a hit or two in the grand scheme of things. And I think the shackle is fine for a third one, because that gives us, like, better damage when we attack and such, and that's good. We can go to the tavern. We've got a bunch of money, and we never have enough opportunities to spend it, right? This increases our critical damage according to the frost things that we hold. Potentially good, although we don't have any way to ramp it up, like, specifically. Wow, didn't get out, but hey. With our tankiness... You know, the damage over time effects work whenever he's, like, winding up for this phase, which is pretty nice. You know, it's always fun whenever a thing does that. There'd be fights in WoW where, like, they would be trying to do a phase, and, like, before they finished, like, talking about it, you would be able to, like, already pop them, and they'd be, like, on to their next speech. And, like, they'd be on the ground, and then, like, the very final of their final speeches would finally ring in. There we go. We get through them here. Boom, baby. Knockback seems good. And then we hit the well. Of course, we have very limited max HP compared to our previous run, but hey. We'll go this way and then down the right to hit the weapon thing, and then the artifact awakening thing, and then another weapon thing. But that would skip a couple of rooms that could potentially get us stronger along the way. If we go to the weapon, that skips one whole room. You know, maybe we would do it anyway. Traits over echoes, I think. You know, we are not doing near as much damage as we were last time we were here, but I guess that did happen, you know, after we got the awoken beads and stuff, so maybe we'll turn on soon here. Might have just been that weapon thing that we got though. Alright, so when we're awakened, health goes up and bead damage increases 100%. Seems good. Oh, it was restoring 25 health at the end of each stage, and I thought it was doing maximum health at the end of each stage. I was just reading it very badly. So we're going to take this one for 30 max health. That's better than 25 right now. Alright. You know, if I would have read all of the words in a row, my previous misapprehensions would have been immediately clarified. Sometimes that is how it goes. And with a little bit of ultra-violence and our enemies walking right into the trap, cunningly placed there by their own faction. Everything here is good, and there we go. I'm big, green, and lethal. We could take this because it buffs a couple of things. You know, maybe tankiness is good, actually. We'll try it. Run seems strong so far. You know, we've got all the pieces that we need in place. See how things been going so far? I did answer that without knowing that you asked. Yeah, it's going real well. Higher crit chance seems good. Yeah, you know, we have almost max hit points. You know, we're powering up stuff. We're running through. We're about to get to superpower one of our items soon, so... You know, we've only done that since the last run, but now, you know, we'll be back to this boss again, and maybe this time I'll pay enough attention to be able to do something about what happens there. The beads are so good, because the stagger, I think, it's a true stagger. It knocks them back in their animations. And then with our knockback from our spear throw, it also stops them from winding up. Oh man, I run into the fire. It's okay. We're tanky. We're a tanky boy. We're still at 132. We're alright. Yeah, I think beads plus fire plus fury shackle pretty good, because the fury is like good for just like boosting your attack damage and everything. Where are the foes? Give me some foe. Oh. I thought that was a bomb on the ground. It was something. Alright, when Frostwave hits a target, it'll take all the ignite effects off and then do a bunch of damage based on the stacks remove. That seems really good. I don't know how much damage it is. Usually, though, if a game says we're going to tie in 2 elements and remove all the stacks of that element, it's going to be a lot of damage, so we'll see. That might be just the big old force that we need to keep it rolling here. We're going to take... I mean, both trees are the same, right? We're going to definitely be going down to either take the health in 1 extra room. Because if we go here, then we get that, and then there's a tavern, so that's a bunch of... Yeah, we'll go down the center route. That's better anyway. You know, giving you access to... Oh, we don't get to pick. We just have to choose one. I see. Oh, never mind. We do have to pick... We leveled up the beads last time. Let's do the Frozen Heart this time and see if we can tell, you know, what's going on with that. You know, the point of this is not to do the same thing every time. It's to experiment around. Even if this is still a beads build, we added the frost. Oh, wow, okay. It looked like a lot of damage, alright. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe they just all chose that moment to die. Seems good. Wow, that went quick. That Awakened Power really pulls it all together. Alright, so double bead damage. Getting crit goes down, power per that. We'll take the crit thing, reducing it. That seems okay. I should have gone for a walk in the park today. I'll go tomorrow. No, I won't. That's right, my MP3 player broke. I'm like a very old person, right? So, no, that's not even accurate. They love smartphones now. I don't use a smartphone because I'm strange. So I had like an MP3 player, but it broke the other day. Well, I mean, it works. Just the button on the side that turns it on doesn't work. But everything else in it works. Like, I can plug it in. It works just fine. But, you know, for what you want an MP3 player to be. Maybe it'll automatically turn on when I plug it in, and then I can unplug it and use it. I don't know. It's also the button that turns the screen on and off, so it could be its own set of problems. Have I gotten farther in the game? Yeah, we beat the first boss. And now we're in, like, the second area. We'll be at the second boss really soon, actually. Again, we got there for the first time last time, and then we died. But, But maybe this time things will be better. But yeah. We just got the tavern, and then we'll spend all of our money. Not all of it, we've got a ton of money. You never even have to read what you're buying. You just get so much money. I think that's smart because this is a playtest. I think they'll probably tune down the amount of like this blood shard resource that you get. Unless in the eventual game you can save it up for stuff, so spending it inside is in some way thing, or maybe you can spend it on something later that'll give you permanent upgrades. But otherwise, it's more than enough to buy everything that you see, basically. Here, when we get a bunch of Fury, we can get 30% of our hit points back. A whole bunch of crit per Fury stack would be really good, though. That synergizes with stuff. And then we'll get beads to hit things for power. When we dash, they go really fast. That seems good. Alright, time for the boss fight. We have 106 hit points. Could be more. It isn't. She's got like a pink area for her attacks. Alright, so you can swing through those things, but they can also sometimes get through at you. So we're just gonna need to be prepared for a second phase where she starts doing everything faster or something. Oh, no, no, how am I supposed to get out of there in time? Okay, I got out in time. It worked easy. Okay. Well, they went away, and then they were a little invisible, but you could still see them some. Alright, we have 60 hit points left. Let's make them count. I shouldn't have dashed to reposition. I should not have dashed to reposition. Very careless. No, 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 let me out! Alright, I got 10 hit points left. Alright, so they're right there. She's gonna pull them in and throw them. No! Right into him. Right into him. Well. We're going to keep on using the spear. I think it's important. We're going to try a different primary on this one. I could just do the tortoise thing. Let's try the wind thing again. You know, I tried that only when it was my first run, so I didn't have any idea what we were doing. We're gonna go towards the heart, yeah. Yep, it was a little close. You know, we either needed way more damage or to be more careful. We're gonna take that to get like more crit chance whenever we've got the gust effects going on. Wow, how did that hurt me? Oh, they popped out of his body and they both did 5 at the instant. Well, that settles it. Take this one. This is going to give us 30 max HP over the course of 3 levels. And then we're going to just level up this artifact as much as we can and see if anything really cool comes from it. Because again, in a game that gives you, 8 or 10 choices, you don't want to just go with the first one you think is good. I mean, you do, but you should be more open-minded, right? Don't ask me why, but you should. Mainly because you never know what cool synergies things will have. I know in Hades I would be like, oh, I don't care about these boons at all, this isn't even cool, but like, I didn't know that if you got one specific one of one kind and another one, then you could get your duos, like there in that one where we got like our Ignite that interacted with the Frost Explosion. Which it might be that, we can get this Wind with the freezing and then get a big ol' like Shatter boost or something too, one never knows. And when we're inside of the gust, we'll swing faster. That's good for obvious reasons. I think we'll go with Wind Frost. Wind Frost makes sense, doesn't it? Oh man, that's a lot of damage to take. I think it's nice that they give you freedom of choice to upgrade instead of force feeding them. Yeah, in Hades it was like that, but it was a lot less choices most of the time. It was often 3, but it was never like 5, But here too, like letting you see the map of where you're gonna go in Hades, the only roguelike I have a lot of experience with. Although I guess Rogue Legacy was one too, but like you wouldn't know what was going to be in the next room. So here it lets you like think, okay, I'll go down there, we'll be able to get a heart right before the boss battle, definitely, or whatever. But it's really nice that instead of like, because in Hades too, like you start out and there would be in the first room, there's a thing. But here it's like you literally, for your artifacts, you get to choose any of them. It's only like the upgrades that is restrictive, which maybe the real game will be different. Like maybe this is a playtest just to let you see like, what you want to do. I think there's something to be said for both ideas. Because, being able to make the build you want every time and just need to, like, get lucky enough to find the level ups for it, that's kind of appealing, right? But also, like, the randomness in a game like this can a lot of times be an appeal. It just depends. We're gonna tank the tankiness. Yeah, so here, like, one of them gets all of the upgrades, actually. Maybe I was supposed to select there, or maybe it rolled one, but, you know, it's still 4 choices, but just so much. Yeah, then we'll go here, then we'll be able to go to the left to the heart room to get some more, and okay. We'll just do like a storm build, right? We'll, it'll be wind, ice, and lightning. Move away from the fire like we had been doing and see how that feels. We gotta experiment. We gotta see what the other stuff is. I mean, I know I'm using the same weapon over and over, but the other one's a sword and it's got a smaller range, and I like this one. Alright, because I have the dash thing, if I do the dash attack, we can do like a double dash with the attack in the middle, which will be very, very good indeed for evading that boss's attack. That's probably not intended. That's a lot of movement. Because you dash attack, like in the middle of the first dash whenever you're not doing it, and then you basically get a dash right as the first attack is happening, which is very cool, but, you know, probably not intended. I'm gonna keep doing it anyway. I'm gonna take this one because we're about to be in the boss fight. Alright, we just need to not get hit. Shouldn't be too hard. We fought this guy before. And actually, with that dash attack motion, we'll definitely be able to not get hit by these big attacks anymore. You know, now it's just going to be up to me to remember to do it on time. Wow, and then I don't do it at all there. You know, failure to execute. Yeah, I don't think the gust of wind is powerful enough. Maybe it is, and I'm just not like souping it up. Because now he's about to level up his power, and I run into it because I got the timing wrong. Alright, just don't get hit anymore. Just don't get hit anymore, or you die. Well. Alright, in conclusion, I don't think the Cyclone Wheel really helped me at all. Yeah, it's like you have to absorb it from him when you use dash, and then you do the thing, and yeah, Let's try the Ember Box again. Hey, Luke. Yeah, very reminiscent of Hades in stylization, gameplay, and so on. And you know, I like that. I don't not like that. But just heartbreaking that the real game's not out, because I actually like, I'm having a lot of fun, but I'm like, man, if there was a story, if there were characters to meet, if there was pathos, you know, if I knew my name. We're gonna go with Explosive Turtle. Explosive Turtle is gonna be the cornerstone of this run. Because Explosive Turtle, so you build the stacks, and then when you use the ability on them, it drops. When you use one of the stabby abilities, though, the wire left bumper ability, the tactical or special ability, it activates all the stacks and drops a bomb, the little turtle bomb underneath them, commensurate with the amount of stacks. The thing is, though, is that it does it for all of the enemies, so if you get a big old blob of them, it's really good for that. However, I don't know how good it is for dealing with bosses, right? Probably not very. We can make them a lot stronger, but usually not have a critical strike. That seems okay. We'll just won't take anything that tries to make them specifically crit. It doesn't mess with the rest of my crit chances, I don't think. Yeah, now they're quite strong. A 5-stack one is going to do like 150, and this is quite early in the game. Yeah, very good stuff. And then, you know, they walk through like a veritable minefield if you get a bunch of them stuck. This seems very good for the halberd. The Blatant, because, as it's called. Because it, alright, we're gonna take this one for 45 max HP over the course of 3 levels. You get a big stack of them, you know, your big range, you get a lot of the stacks that are stuck. The stacks that are stuck, sticking the stacks upon them, most stockily, sticking your stacks of stocks upon them. Anyway, I'm done with that. And then, you know, you get a whole bunch of bombs to drop. So maybe Tortoise Blade Beads and Frost. Oh man, that's a lot of damage. When one explodes, skill cooldowns are reduced by 1 second. This is probably awesome. If it's for each one, because we deploy the Ember Boxes based on using the skills that have like a 6 or 7 cooldown. So if we take this and we just stick a bunch of them down and then they go, we might be able to chain explosions like pretty regularly, and I love that. I love just the dream of that. And we're gonna pursue that dream. Alright, so here Yeah, I think Frost is just the way to go. But I don't know. Alright, so we'll go this way because we're still... Yeah, the max HP per stage, it only happens after a stage where you fight enemies, I think. So we would be wasting it to go to another... Or potentially wasting it to go to another health one right away. Maybe not. Yes, it's exactly how it works. So we hit that block of 5 and our cooldown immediately went down. We'll be able to chain this together like quite beautifully. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Yeah, this is now a turtle bombing run. The longer away our big throw hits from, the better it'll be. We'll take improvement to artifact over the percentage ones. You know, maybe percentage-based upgrades are better, but I want to believe in this, you know. I want to believe in all my fun little items. Why am I taking damage? Wow, that did a lot. Alright, who's here? Yeah, and then with the frost, you get the frost stacks on them, they get frozen in place, and then all of the bombs pop on them. Hey, Ninu. You said you never heard of this game before. How do I compare it to Hades? It feels a lot like it when you're playing. This is just a playtest for it. It's not out yet. I had access to like a playtest key. Not special access, just through like a subscription service thing that I have called Humble. So explosions that pull them into it, that seems good. It feels a lot like it. So, like I was saying, this is just a playtest version, so I don't know what the plan is for the story of it or anything like that. I imagine there is a plan for stuff like that, but I don't know. This is just like, you walk in, they don't tell you your character's name or anything for this version of the game. But it plays a lot like it, you know. It's a roguelite as well, at least so far, you know. You know, you pick up currency that you spend at a shop while you go. You have different weapons that you use. This has 2. It's got a little blade into it's called. It's a halberd with a trident on the end. Ah, come on. You know, it's in gameplay, it feels very similar. You know, you still have, you know, you lose a hit point, you only get it back from like a well or from like a health item. You know, it's got bosses. So the structure, you have your weapon, and then you have what are called artifacts, which there's the 5 elements of, you know, wind, ice, fire, crumble, which is more like earth. You know, that's the explosive turtle, and then lightning that we have access to. And fire has like 3 artifacts. There's 3 slots for them, but, you know, there's only a few. Some of them aren't in the game right now. And, you know, they say unlock, so I'm sure, you know, the game would start out and you would unlock various things in various ways, just like in Hades. But gameplays, I loved Hades. I only played it this last year, and I loved it. I got all the Steam achievements. I beat it at 32 heat. I tried to see how fast I could go. I don't know off the top of my head. It wasn't very fast. Critical damage by 10% for each frozen essence. Maybe. We'll try that. But it feels, when I'm playing it, it feels like Hades with a different skin, which is wonderful. Like that's very high praise from me. But of course, a lot of why I and other people loved Hades was the elements. But the elements of you know, the story and character progression and stuff. Which we'll take. We'll just take the Ember Shackle for Fury here. I think Fury's always fine. You know, swinging faster, doing more. Seems good. Thanks for that information. No, oh, no problem. That's sort of how I operate. I am always elaborating. All right, so this. Yeah, this is gonna let us get our special ability more often. And now it's time for the boss fight. But yeah, so like, whereas Hades is set in Greek myth, this is set in more in like Korean folklore and myth, which I don't know very much, which is to say anything about, and which also makes me very fascinated because I very much look forward to seeing how they're going to treat it. You know, I can't imagine they're just going to have like this nice gameplay and not give me anything to chew on when it comes to character motivations and, you know, the people that we meet and or spirits or, you know, other shaman, whatever. You know, I will be watching its career with great interest. And I guess this guy does have the ads that makes the tortoise good. It's the oh man, feels rough. Oh, man. Because, you know, Frenzy makes you take more damage, but it also makes you swing a lot faster. We got him. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got him. We barely got him. We might have been about to take the fatal hit, but we got him. 12 hit points left. Clean. But there's a well here. There's always a well here. It's a big well. It does like 75%, I think. But unlike Hades, you can see arrayed here the symbols of how the map is going to go all the way down to the next boss, which lets you plan out. You're like, okay, these gold rooms are really important. That lets you get like these artifact awakening rooms. This lets you soup up one of your artifacts to be even bigger and better. And you get to pick which artifact. I don't know if that's going to stick in with the eventual game, you know. And then this weapon chime, that's pretty big too. So if we go here, though, we can get max HP. But if we go this direction, we can get to the weapon chime, which is like, think of it like a hammer in Hades. Then to this health, then here to this. And then, oh, we can hit another weapon chime on the way down to a shop. Yeah, that's a good path. That's a good path. It might be a good path. We're going to take that path. If we don't die. And this is chapter 2, you know, so you get a little bit of a little different aesthetic going on. Oh, man, no. I thought I was running into the water. I thought I could run further there. I was stuck up on him. Giving away a lot of free damage. Feels bad. I kind of missed the beads. Why would I run into that? And these little things, so each of these not only gives you, say, 5% damage, but if you have a specific ability that's tied to it, like here. Yeah, we'll take this one. This is good. This is real good. Because this tie-in gives us +1 divine power recovery per echo that goes into them. So rather than getting like 1, this like basically doubles the effect. Which, that's the thing that lets us turn into big green Bodhisattva figure. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of damage. Alright, so now we've got a build that is put together quite nicely. The bomb does good AoE, you know, you set it up, you knock it down, and it's like, and it's interesting too because, you know, it provides you ways to use your skills together, because basically all of them are built on, you know, you build stacks, you activate them in some manner, whether through dashing or through special attacks, and then, you know, you leverage those abilities to do more of the damage that you want, as opposed to my normal way of just hitting them over the head repeatedly. Here... After placing it, it increases a lot. It knocks them down, or... Oh yeah, so this is what we do. We place the thing down, it'll absorb all the ignite effects from the frenzy, and then blow up. Yeah, I think that's gonna be the thing. I think we found the build. Maybe the frost is not necessary. Maybe it's just like tortoise shackles and then like beads. But I think this tortoise is going to be where it's at. I think they wanted me to play with the explosive turtle. I mean, it does, from the face of it, sound like something that I should use, right? Oh no, I got hit by that. That's so bad. No! I thought we could knock them back, but I think they just got knocked a little bit out of the arc of my auto attack. I didn't notice. So I am low HP. Oh, 14 now? Jeez. I need to pay a lot more attention. I'm in the middle of a trap. That's not, you know, ideal. But, you know, I still live. See how much play makes you really want to play underdog to slowly become the strongest, the best. Yeah, well, you know, if you do, make sure you tell me how it goes. I know if you put it on, you said it was VR, so you won't really be able to be in here. You'll be in your own. Oh, the humanity coming out of the ground with a steel chair. Oh well. Okay, so do we try to go to a sword? Let's just do a sword and see how it goes. You know. Alright, we've tried out a lot of the various things now. So, number of special by 1. When a special is used, it creates an after image that uses special again. Seems good. Yeah, I like Tortoise Emberbox. We're gonna go for the turtle. We're gonna believe in the turtle. Wow, okay, I am taking... Wow, so much damage. I gotta be much more careful. This does not have the knockback that the halberd did. The Blatant. What a silly name. I'm not being critical, I think it's funny. Ooh! Ooh, wow, okay, now we're talking. When it explodes, there's a 10% chance to redeploy it, and if we get the haste echo, it'll get a 5% more chance per echo. So we might be able to get that pretty high, and if we have like a bunch of explosions, I want this game to be out so bad. I want this game to be out with the full version so bad. I wanna find out what the bow item is that they give me. Is there going to be a shield, or is it all going to be bow, you know? Because I know the sword and I are not going to be what we do. Like, it's definitely going to be some other item. I mean, the sword's fine. It's cool. It's a cool item, but I'm not good enough to be in this close in a game like this. I need a little more distance. I need a little more, more safety. I need a little more violent red slashing move. And then we'll take this for a total of 30 max health and 30 health. Infinite tortoise ember box switch. Yeah, you know, it would take a little while to get infinite numbers of them, but we could actually just try. No, we need to keep on getting better tortoise ember boxes. That way, when we get duplicates, it'll be all the more influential. You know, we got a couple of infinite ones there, didn't we? You know, it doesn't take... At 10%, you can still get it pretty often. Alright, so... I think the knockdown is good. I think we'll go with knockdown, because that will... We know we've got a lot of knockdowns, and I don't know if it's going to stack that knockdown effect. If 5 of them gives them 5 seconds of knockdown, we're going to know really quick, because it's going to be over for these fools. Alright, so we go for Frost for the next one. Or Beads. No, we'll just do the shackle, because that could get us the exploding thing quicker. Maybe Frost isn't that good. We're going to take the weapon chime over health. We can get more health later. But if we don't take health now, will we beat the boss? Yes, we will beat it with the help of the strength of the weapon chime. Or we'll die before we even get there and go back to the spear because I'm not good enough to play with a short-range weapon. Oh, wow, yeah, that knockdown is the best. It's just the best. And then when it chains the... Oh, yeah, the knockdown. Okay. I don't need to see any more to know that that's the way to do it. Alright. When we hit a target, it slightly reduces the cooldown of other skills. That seems real good. Number of uses of special attack seems better, though, because if you just get another charge of it, what do you care what the cooldown is? And that web's gonna go off. And you know, you only need one more to chain after one, and then you get more stun, yeah. Yeah, the stun build with the frenzy. If we have the blatant for you know, the safety, that'll be real good. Plus, it's a super reliable way to get bombs off. It won't be great against bosses, but it'll let us get there. And of course, if we get these bonus explosions, then good stuff. When they explode, we get cooldowns going down by 1 second. Yes, please. And now Now it's all the way turned on, basically. We just need more. That would be better. More is always better. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of damage. And it's just like a web of safety. And then the more explosions that happen, the more that eventually happen again. Oh my goodness. This is so much fun. I'm like a grenadier. I'm just running around sorting people and leaving bombs shaped like tortoises. Oh no, I've been struck by an enemy. No decent person will ever speak to me again. I must avenge myself. Hiya! Crit chance per fury stack, yes please. We're just gonna try to call thunder on him as well. I mean, no real reason, right? Just like for the meme. We're gonna go here for a big max health boost because we're gonna need it to get through this fight. Oh man, we're low. Oh man, we're so low. 7. Get out of here. Alright, well, in conclusion, the sword, although very strong... I'm like, why did I say in conclusion? I thought I was dead. I'm not dead. I'm alive. Alright, we need to reroll here. I probably should do that more often. We need to reroll for 60 health. Where's my 60 health? We don't get any. Okay, so... that one gives us 30 at least. Alright, so just don't get hit. And of course, this guy does take a bunch of damage from his ads coming around and getting bombs on him too, so we'll just need to... That's right, it's in the center and the spokes. No! Feels bad. Alright. Back to the halberd. I like this build though. We're gonna pursue this build. Yeah, the artifact box, that just shows you the elemental artifacts you have access to. And it probably shows you the whole tree along with all the abilities you can get. But I like learning at my own pace, right? Crit chance when we skip the last thing, which we do all the time. Are the range builds you can create? The only 2 weapons in the game right now are... the bladent, my halberd thing, and then the sword. So there might eventually be. With the artifacts, we'll just go over what they are real quick. But so the frost one, you get chill, and then when you use one of your bigger cooldown attacks, when they have a bunch of essences, then you freeze everybody. This one, you hit them and they build these dash charges. You pull the dash out and then it makes a little gust of wind. The shackle makes you do more damage and stuff and swing faster, and you take more damage. The flame dragon orb, whenever you hit them a lot and then you use one of your attacks, you'll like absorb flame dragon essence, and then you put a dragon down that shoots at them. The beads do that, and then they swirl around you when they get stacks that protects you and hits your enemies. the tortoise, you've seen it blows up, you know, it takes the stacks away and then makes a bomb underneath them. The lightning, you have a dash-based one that casts fork lightning whenever you do it, and then you have a one that uses a lightning bolt from the sky when you use your cooldown attacks. So basically, like, you know, that's sort of a ranged attack, and that's sort of a ranged attack. But really, you know, it's all about medium range stuff for the halberd, and then shorter range stuff for the sword. I hope there'll be, like, a bow equivalent. You would expect a bow equivalent in a game like this. That doesn't mean that, you know, you'll get one. We're just gonna take the tortoise ember boxes and get going. And we'll see how this dream of a build will get put together. Because when you have more range to set this up, then you have, you know, more security. Because if you don't know what attacks your enemies do, really, you need some separation, you know. If you're experienced, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's the one with the missile attacks. I can get in there, she can't cast them. This is the dude that I'm going to need to pay attention to even if we're right on him because he's got fast attack speed. Like right there, you know. I should have listened to myself while I was talking. Good luck with that, right? Alright, we get the knockdown immediately. This is going to make the whole thing pull together. Oh. Alright, so here we take this one. This gives us 30 max health over the course of a few rooms, which is better than 25 right away for reasons of being true. This has been so much fun. I think this is probably going to be the last run. I'm going to take a little break, probably grab a shower, something to eat, a little chimichanga from the frozen section of my refrigerator slash freezer, you know. Pour some habanero hot sauce on it, you know, have myself a time, and then come back later on tonight for something else. Either Hollow Knight if I can decide to get over myself, or, you know, a different game. Might just have a peaceful little night of playing Minecraft and, you know, hanging around and talking to myself while we listen to good music. Alright, redeploying or cooldown reduction? I think redeploying is cooler. But player skill cooldowns, ah man. We're gonna take this one. Redeploying is cooler and that makes it better. Plus, if they redeploy, then we can get a chain snare out of it, and that's better. Because, so, like, all of the artifacts, you know, they have 3 slots, but, you know, it's just 2 thunders and then one for a few of the other ones, and all 3 fires, but... You know, maybe Fury was a mistake. Because Fury increases your attack speed, but it makes you get hurt more. Maybe we should just get... Yeah, maybe Sentry build, right? We'll get the Flame Dragon Orb, and we'll be able to drop down stacks of fire upon our foes. Here, do we go for health? No, because we're still in the middle of getting max health from the earlier one. Yes. It's pretty good, alright. You know, even if we don't get a bunch of the Hydras, you know, we get them sometimes. Yeah, I think the Hydra might be too weak for an accompaniment to this, but hey, it's trying. Final attack does increased damage and strikes additional time. That sounds good. Oh, really? I got hit by that many of them? 3? The number between 2 and 4, and I took that many? Feels bad. Wow. Alright, so this is gonna be the explosion thing, the big ol' explode thing. The tie-in. So you can get that from any fire ability with it, which, you know, I imagine that there will be good synergies between all of the spell schools eventually. Man, with the increased attack speed there, with that double spin move, very strong. All right, so here, yeah, we want that. We want to be able to pop the awakened form more often. Here we go to health, because we'll be able to take like 60 health, I hope. Good, good. Yes, we restore our 60 health. Get to max HP in time for the boss fight. That we're gonna do well on. That we're going to do well on. Yeah, and our damage over time is still ticking. Take that. There we go. Clean. Relatively clean, honestly. You know, we could have taken that max HP and got the water from the well. We barely took a hit, you know. Still, you can't depend on that. Not if you're me. Alright, knockback on the tactical attack. Yes, please. Because tactical attack, you're supposed to be, like, charging, but that always feels unwise. I always just use it as a sort of long jab to trigger our abilities. Alright, so here we need to go down a max HP line. If we go there, then we can hang a right, hit another HP one potentially, and then one there, and then, yeah, shop. Yeah, we'll go. Yeah, we can start here and roll down to the middle. It doesn't matter which direction we go down the little grid. As long as we end up on the way that we wanted to go. Look how good that dragon was doing. He's like, you pulled me out of the ball, boss. I took care of him. He just wants to feel like he's doing well. Okay, so we can go down and this will just tell us all the stuff that we've got. That's good. It's good that there's a nice little thing for that. In case you forget. Taking its critical strike chance down. I don't like that because I feel like I have other stuff that makes us get good crit potentially. More tie-ins for more of the special ability seems good, and we'll go this way because this is the way we're going. Oh yeah, you know, with the double spin move and the increased thing that you get, all of the good things there, really pulls it all together. There we go, indomitable vitality. Bonus to our attack. We're gonna go this one and hope to get for like the boost divine power. Because I think that actually is like a pretty strong boost, I think the Hydra's going to be a dead end. I think the beads are better than that, and I think that, you know, the Frenzy, if we just learn to play, obviously, Frenzy would be the best thing by far, but I'm not sure if taking more damage in the pursuit of doing more damage is good for me, given that we're not trying to go fast at all, we're just trying to go. And then we got this guy on the ropes. He's not going to be able to do anything. Popped. Yeah, our attacks are fast enough to stun lock the big haystack dudes. You just gotta watch, you know, around the back. And here, yeah, so by taking this, now we're gonna be able to make both of those other things twice as good at what they do. Very nice indeed. And again, I think beads is better than that. I think tortoise beads, and then I don't know about the last one. Maybe frost, but the frost one just, like, enables me to get tankier, so, like, maybe that's good. Oh, man, he got through that? I was like, I was sure we were safe. We weren't. Alright, so lots of Spear Essence leads to lots of big damage on that attack, and we'll take this Vitality thing, which we'll probably have to spend on just health, but we actually could spend on max, because there's another... Yeah, there's another heart room coming up, so we can get away with it. Clean. And now we've trapped the haystack in front of the fire trap. This was widely regarded as a sort of effective move. You know, you'd think it would hurt him more. We'll take the max here. On the grounds that we know there's a couple more hearts to come. And we're obviously awakening the tinderbox. You got to awaken your primarily damage dealer, right? That's where you go. Here we go to the heart because, you know, that's more important than that's more important than being more strong, being more alive. I'm not sure what's going on here, but we're fine. We're fine. We are inside of the fire. That is not ideal. Oh, wow. I got tied up on the corner there and took way more damage than I had wanted, which was none. I wanted to take none. Alright, so we'll take this one. This will give us 75 over the course of 3 stages, which will take us, you know, into okay shape. And we will have enough time to get all of them before we go and chat with the big bad. And we can go to the shop as well and get a bunch of items, potentially. Oh, wow. Yeah, down on that line, they were all in trouble. All of them getting lightning bolted, all of them getting exploderated. Oh, yeah. That's what it's all about right there. Yeah, the Hydra doesn't work. I like beads better, because even if we just get like a couple of knockback things for the tie-in, that's still like so much better than this is. The Hydra does, like, some work, but it takes too much setup to get down. And then what if you need to go away from it, right? It's the problem with all sentry items. Like, what if you need to move? Especially if they don't let you just put them down. Alright, when we... Yeah, that with the power upgrades from the explosions, it almost, yeah, it doesn't take very long to get up into one again, and it might actually, yeah, it boosts the power of your thing while you're in the middle of it when you get more explosions. So seems pretty good. Also seems like we took more damage there than we should have. So story of my life. But we've got a bunch of Hydras here. Well, you know, if you can get 4 of them down... I don't know how you can, but if you can get 4 of them down... Alright, so this is when you activate it. It does that. I don't think it's going to be, like, through the whole thing. Explosions pulling them in is good. Yeah, I think Vitality over the shop even. Is the shop ever going to sell us a heart? Let's look. Yes, this is the second boss fight. And I should have taken the health, probably. Oh man, I got hit by that. No, 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 don't get hit by the onions! I already took way too much. Oh man, I ran right into it. Tried to get out, couldn't get out in time. Hey, Log. Oh, the stream's been wonderful. I really liked this game. I'm super excited. You know, it's not out yet. I will be watching with great anticipation. And you say you saw my stream tomorrow on some Total War Warhammer thing? Yeah. Say I'm gonna maybe play Two Kings of Religion. Maybe. I was thinking of doing like somebody else though. There's a lot of factions I have that I haven't played. I was thinking of doing Mother Ostenkia. But, and I know I said that was going to be the last one. Let's try one more Swords one. I do need to eat, but I can do one more Swords one. But yes, I'm very interested in this game. I like playing stuff that shows me something that I haven't seen before, right? And whatever whatever folklore and myth and story that is in this game, which I assume there will be some. It's going to be something I'm totally unfamiliar with, and that's very exciting. Take a knockdown thing. But yeah, I kind of finished up my Yonbo campaign that I was playing today. I mean, kinda. The game didn't say I won, but I felt like I won, and that's the same. You see, you like almost all the factors. Yeah, there's basically none that I don't like to play at all. Like, there's some where I don't get it, and I'm like, I feel like Scavin probably, because like I'm like, you know, I'm not very good. Everyone's a different style of player, and I'm very much I want to have a front line of guys that fight, and then some of my guys will shoot, and we'll have artillery, and I'll have a big hero. You know, I like having a little bit of everything in a battle. I like having a big centerpiece hero that beats on things, you know, and you know, the legendary lord sort of thing. You know, I like a duelist at the top, or that regenerates, you know, something that I can just like go and heroically charge into my foe with. And most factions have at least something along those lines. We're gonna take player skill cooldown reduction first. I think that might actually be more important than the other ones. Because if we can just churn out boxes, then that's better than anything. We're gonna go for max HP, of course. Max HP is probably more important than getting more powerful stuff, because you get a lot of opportunities for stuff, but there's many more improve your weapons rooms than there are improve your health rooms. Of course, I could just play better, but since I won't... Whoops. I walked right into the trap. It went out. It went okay. Alright, so here we'll get 30 max health. Over the course of the 3 stages. Yeah, the cooldown reduction is definitely the way to go. Yeah, it's 100% the way to go. Oh, we're not facing him. Look at him when you hit him. How long are you running this game? I get, like, to the end of the second chapter in, like, 20 minutes-ish, you know, right around there. And a lot of it's, like, talking and thinking. There's 3 chapters in the playtest. I don't know if there's going to be more eventually in the real game, you know, once it comes out. I imagine maybe. You know, it'd be surprising if they had most of the playtesting already out. But, I mean, I guess not unthinkable in the modern era. Yeah, Divine Recovery seems good. But yeah, so, you know, if I didn't die, I would assume you could get through in 30 minutes. I just realized, well, at least I have an HP bar there. I'm like, you know, if I moved this, then you'd be able to see the HP bar, and that would be better. Here we take beads. Yeah, we'll take beads. And power or money? Power or life? We'll take power over life. It's probably not smart. We can probably beat the first boss, though, and then it won't matter too much. Because we'll get all the health back, or most of it back there. And if we don't beat the first boss, then it really doesn't matter what the HP is, does it? I'm a fast swinging boy. Cooldown by 40%. Yes, please. Yeah, 3 seconds on that. Much better. Stop trying to hit me and hit me! See, it looks kind of fun. Yeah, I don't know anything about the studio. I know they're a Korean studio. I looked them up, you know, to see if they'd done anything that I had heard of. Because I hadn't ever heard of this game. Stagger duration or... I mean, this would make us do more damage overall and tankier. Stagger, though, seems good. Yeah, I think the beads and the bombs. Beads and bombs build. Beads and bombs. That'll be good. But yeah, I try to wait for reviews and stuff, but I've got a positive enough opinion about it where if it's, you know, if it's like $25, I'll probably get it, you know, like if it's more premiumly priced than that, I don't know, I might wait unless, you know, like, unless people are calling it the new hotness or whatever. Look, everybody told me to play Hades when it came out, not least because I love Greek mythology and stuff, so it's much more up my alley than this is, because, like, I'm broadly interested in the mythology and culture of every culture on the planet, but I'm quite specifically very interested in Greek stuff, so, and always have been since childhood, and so, like, you know, skipping Hades wasn't ideal, but this is a lot of fun, and I already want there to be more to it than this, you know, I'm having a good time, but I'm definitely already wishing there was more going on. Alright, so... when we're charging them, landing a critical hit reduces the charge time. We'll take explosions. And we got way too much damage taken there. Yeah, I don't think it even comes out this year. Because there's like a demo on Steam, and then there was a public playtest, which I got into one that I guess was like a private playtest key through my Humble subscription, because whenever I logged on today to boot into this, what Steam said was, the playtest is over, thanks for all your feedback. And I was like, no! I looked it up and it said the 29th, but my key still works, so... I'm definitely glad that I got a chance to play it. I'm really having a blast. It's a lot of fun, even if I'm dying right now. Anyway, every time I pop the big ability, I get too into it. So yeah, so that's just 9 minutes. We were about to be at the first boss. So you can expect 10 minutes per chapter. There's 3 chapters in the playtest. But yeah, like I said, the public playtest, I think it's over. And if you have a Humble Bundle Choice subscription, this was in the August Humble Bundle. But if you don't know what that means, you know, then you wouldn't have one. But it's the game is Aksun. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I actually had a blast. But I just need to get some more to eat. And, yeah, you know, I kind of wish we had done better to see what Chapter 3 looked like, at least. But, still a lot of fun. And certainly, you know, if in the final version we can, you know, unlock abilities and get HP bonuses and become tankier and make it easier to get through those early levels, then, well, then that would be nice too. Because normally, you know, in a roguelike, you know, you get to save your progress a little bit of a roguelite, which I believe is what this game is pitched at. But anyway, like I said, I'm not like an expert, but I certainly had a good time. I hope you did too, watching it. And yeah, if and when it comes out, I will, it'll definitely be on my old mental list of games to look at, so I hope it'll be excellent. It certainly was compelling in style, in artistry, in mechanics. Whenever I died, I blamed myself, except for some of the bosses might have just a little bit too wide of a radius for their attack. It didn't seem like I could dash out of it, even if I was reacting immediately. But maybe you gotta react beforehand. It's hard to say. But anyway, that's all I've got for you right now. I kind of wish I could play this game for another 50 hours, but, you know, it'll be away soon. I mean, I keep on playing it right now, but I'm not going to. We might play some more tomorrow. We might, just to try to get through, and because I'm having a good time with it. But anyway, that's all I've got for you right now. I'll be back on in an hour and a half or something. Maybe Minecraft, maybe Terraria, maybe Hollow Knight, I don't know. Do I really want to go into the White Palace and fail a whole lot more? I don't know. It's not important. It's not important. But I'll be around, and maybe I'll see you there. Later, Coolio. Later, Nini. Later, Log. Sorry you didn't get to see too much of the stream, but I appreciate you stopping in. Later, Luke. And, yep, I will perhaps see you guys later on. Peace.